What's up, everybody? Didn't get a make a stream after game four. Obviously, I was a bit out of my way, so that kind of sucks. So obviously now I have a time to talk about game four with y'all. Game five tomorrow. Really exciting times. Tied up 2-2. I watched the game Friday night when I came home. Didn't know the score. I made sure I didn't get spoiled. So I had on NBA.com. There's like an option to hide scores. I made sure I hit scores immediately. Made sure I didn't get any notifications. Came home, knew the score was 60-63 at halftime, but outside of that, I knew nothing, and it was just awesome to watch. It come play out in real time. Shea was awesome down the stretch. I mean, there's a lot of things we'll talk about right now about that game, and obviously going forward. But I mean, just to see Shea be able to step up in that moment. He had some bad moments in game one. He had some bad moments in game three, obviously. So like to see him finally have that moment was awesome. But give me a sec. OKC in in six or seven, game four was the biggest win of the series in my opinion. Yeah, yeah. Like it kind of does feel like not to sound cocky now, right? Like Indiana kind of needed to win that game because now you're going back to Oklahoma City and the Thunder been so good at home. Like even their two losses at home all postseason, right? Yeah, the only two losses this entire postseason was the game against Denver, right? Game one where they lost at the buzzer, and then same against Indiana, right? Like they've never played a bad game at home. So like now you're at home, you're coming off a win now. This does feel similar to what do you call game four versus Denver, right? You win game four against Denver. Late in the clutch after losing game three, you go back to game five, you feel comfortable. But again, I feel like this series just comes down to fourth quarter play. Like outside that one game in game two, every single game has been decided by the fourth quarter, the last few minutes, like whoever's like making better decisions in the clutch. So like I wouldn't really like I'm not really expecting any team to pull away at this point. I feel like if OKC was gonna pull away in the series and start to dominate, it would have happened a few games ago. So I mean not a few games ago, like in game four, right? Game four was gonna pull away. You make that major adjustment. So yeah, I'm expecting every game to be close, maybe until maybe game six or game seven, similar to Denver. Usually at the end, it's finally like a team that makes that final adjustment to put you over the edge. But right now, I really doubt that. Yo, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Um, hey, Thunder Focus, what do you think is more important for Game Five? Shay's it factor or Halliburton's clutch gene? Um, bro, that's I don't know. I guess Shay's. That's like a first take type of question, man. Like I don't know. Shay's it factor. Um, I'll look at all your questions. We can still talk game four. What was your thoughts about the adjustment of going to the 2 man game with Shane Dub? Yeah, that's like the major thing that you take away from the clutch. Like they've done it so many times, right? Every single time a team will just play in man to man coverage every single time. You go to the Shane J Dub like screening action. And again, I don't know if there's a clip of it, right? Shea gets the ball screen, J-Dub on the ball, and they get the switch every single time. So Shea gets J-Dub's man, and J-Dub gets Shea's, whoever's going Shea. So, like, they did that with Nemhard and Neesmith, right? So Shea gets Neesmith, like, three or four times in the clutch. Um, I think one of those times he gets a mid-range shot. The other time he draws some fouls and stuff like that. But, um, you know, we'll see. Like I don't think Nemar's gonna. I mean, I don't think Neesmith is gonna do that poorly on Shea going forward. But like, if the Thunder can consistently go to that in the clutch, that's something really good to open up. Again, you don't want to run that all game, right? So like, it's a good option right now to run in clutch situations, similar to what they did against the Pelicans, right? I think they did against the Pelicans. Get Herb Jones off of Shea, put Trey Murphy on him. I think it's the exact same thing. But you don't want to do it all game because it slows down your offense. But for clutch situations, right? If 2 3 minutes left, you just need like a solid shot. That's like a go to play you can do if Indiana is gonna run the same defense. What's good, AB? What's good, Power Foops? What's good, Scott? Did I rewatch the playback? Um, no, I didn't rewatch the playback. No, I'll probably do that later. What was were you there, Power Hoops? How was Jace's reaction? Do you think the Pacers are athletically better than us? Um, athletically, do you think the Pacers are athletically better than us? It's really like only. No, I wouldn't say so, right? Because like I think Halliburton and Nemhard are pretty limited athletes offensively. Like those are their two ball handlers. Same with McConnell. Really, a lot of it just comes from like Toppin and Matherin, right? Being like really good off the catch, really fast. They can punish some of OKC's guys. But I don't think Indiana's like winning or like getting an advantage because of like how athletic they are, if that makes sense, you know? Like they're still like much more of a methodical, slower, like slow based team. Like even Siakam, right? He's not really like a explosive athlete. Biggest thing with SGA attacking Neesmith, yeah, it's impressive how well Shea just destroyed Neesmith. Like rewatching, not I mean not rewatching the game, like watching the game for the first time. Like Nemhard is probably doing the best job that anyone has done on Shea, and maybe not like in terms of like preventing him from like not when like he gets a shot off, right? Whenever Shea gets a shot off against Nemhard, is being pretty fine. But he's the best at denying him from getting the ball, right? Like Shea's working so hard. I think he shot what 24 shots today, which again in 40 minutes is pretty low for Shea. The other game in game three, he shot only 20 times. So like Shea's barely shooting the ball right now against Nemhard. Like and you look at game one and game I mean you look at game one, right? Shea was able to push Nemhard wherever he wanted. They up the ball denial and stuff like that. And now his shot attempts are pretty limited right now. Yeah, he just knows Shea's tendencies really well. They've clearly played against each other. Like ESPN broadcast keeps bringing it up, but let's see. Why can Pacers offense get so many more different actions per possession than us? That's just their style, man. Like I talked about it before the series, right? Like everything the Pacers do is like we're gonna make a decision within point 0.5 to 1 second. You know, either we're gonna dribble, pass, or shoot, bring the ball down the floor. The thing is like Indiana's personnel is just built for that, right? That's like literally Halliburton's game. You know, pushing the ball up, making quick decisions. Like the Thunder's game is like Shea, and I'm not saying this in this is in like a disrespectful way to Shea, but like he's not a quick decision maker, right? His game is based on pace, on slowing the game down. Eventually beating you to your spot. He's not gonna make a quick decision with the ball. Same with J Dub, right? That doesn't necessarily mean making a quicker decision is always better. You know, it's not always that way. But it's just like a conflict of play styles. You know, Indiana makes quick decisions. Thunder make slower decisions. You know, it's a pretty. That's why it's such a like a fun battle. You know, like there's such contradicting play styles. Just joined who you got in game five. Thunder definitely. I mean they're at home. There's no excuse to not win any playoff games at home. When J Dub had the 8 second violation, Jason's done with the game. Do you think J Dub shooting struggles could be attributed to us not drafting? What the hell, man? Yo, what is that question, man? Wow, how would J Dub's brother? Okay, I'm not gonna answer that. If we shoot 35% of the 3 point line, we're for sure winning game five. Then that's crazy. Like, so what Indiana is doing, right? They're not even helping too much off the pay, right? I mean, off shooters, right? Like whatever shooters the Thunder have, they're not even letting them get many shots off. Like I think, yeah, Thunder only shot 16 3 point attempts this game, and like Door shot one shot, bro, one 3 point shot in 32 minutes. That's insane. And then I think last game the Thunder shot what 20 shots, something like that. Like it's considerably low. So like yeah, they're basically Indiana's basically daring the Thunder to beat them in the middle of the floor, beat them inside the paint. So yeah, the lack of 3 point shot attempts is crazy. They just need to get more shots up, Scott. I don't even know if it's a percentage thing, right? Like they shot a lot of 3 point shots in game three, but it didn't matter. Like they only shot like what 20 times. They shot 10 of 20 or something like that. Like you just have to find a way to get shots up. That's the biggest issue right now. Chow was in rage bait. Shit, though. I can't be watching. Really, man. Free freeze. Why Nemhard's so good at defending Shea? He's 6'3" with a +1 wingspan. Yeah, I talked about this with a few people. Like it's kind of weird, right? Like when you look at Nemhard, he's a great defender. Obviously, like that's without being said, right? he doesn't really have like that physique of like what you would think a Shea stopper would be, right? Like Herb Jones, for example, it made a lot of sense why Shea struggled against him at times, right? Because like he has that body, he has that wingspan. I think it's a combination of Nemhard being like having such a strong core, like having such a strong core. Like every time Shea tries to get a bump on him, he's pretty prepared for it. Um, he's not getting bumped as much. Like you can tell the difference between Neesmith, right? Neesmith can he can create a lot more contact against Neesmith. Nemhard's just really strong in the core. Like I think that's the only difference. And again, the ball denial. I don't even think it has much to do with like on ball trades. It's just like him chasing him everywhere, tiring him down. Like if Shea gets the ball against Nemhard, I think he does a fine job most of the time. Like in terms of getting a solid shot. It's just that he can't get the ball a lot against him. What adjustments should we make for game five? And do we stick with double big lineup or something else for starting lineup? The double big minutes didn't look that good. The double big, they were fine. Like they weren't good in the fourth quarter. They were just fine. Like I think you just stick with it. Like again, you probably just sub out Hardenstein or Chet like pretty early into the game. But I don't think it made any tangible difference. I think the more important thing is like Kaysen is just really playing really bad right now offensively. So like no matter what, I just don't want to start Kaysen. Like if they start Caruso, I'm not mad at it. I mean, I understand it, right? He's definitely being one of the five best players on the team, but um, I just don't start Kaysen. That's my only thing, right? Just don't start Kaysen. Like he's just been so off offensively this entire series, this entire playoffs, really, right? And he's not making that much of an impact defensively either. Like it's probably just not a series where he played him much. What do you think we should do to get the offense going in game five? Yeah, that was a tough question. I would say just like again more early offense. I think that's what they did against Denver, right? Like just you just have to play a little faster right now because like um probably have Caruso bring the ball up again. Caruso bring the ball up. Have Shea come off movement. I think that's the most important thing, right? Like let's get Shea moving, like off screens or something like that. Like use him like a shooter almost, right? Just get find a way to get Shea momentum off the ball instead of him just like tirelessly like trying to drag the ball up the floor, and then Nemhard just staying on his ass. You know, like you have to just let him just find a way to get Shea in space. So like especially if you have Hardenstein and Chen in the game with double big, you have to run a lot of double screens and stuff like that to get him some momentum. Well, we gotta beat him in game five. Yeah. Why do you think we're shooting so poorly from free? It's almost like no, yeah, Jules. Again, it's more of an Indiana thing than us. Like us shooting 3 of 17 from free of 16. That was just bad shooting, right? But like the issue in terms of like us not getting frees up, that's just Indiana. Like Indiana's just not helping off shooters at all. That's really just all it comes down to. They're only helping on the only times that Indiana's helping on defense is when Shea gets a post up. When Shea gets a post up, they double team immediately. Other than that, I don't think they're like almost ever sending help. So that's really just an Indiana thing. Like the only time if you want to get a lot of 3 point shots up, you're probably gonna have to run Shea in the post and hope Shea can make a lot of good passes. Um, Do I fear the Pacers or Nuggets more? Pacers, Pacers. It's just and it comes down to Pacers being way, like just Pacers are just really well coached. Rick is an insane coach. Um, he's literally made perfect adjustments every single series after the game three and game four. Like he's been such a good like his entire career almost, not just in this run, right? Almost every single time closing out a series, Rick is almost perfect in these deep playoff runs. So definitely Indiana. Um, Kaysen's shot making has been terrible. What do you think is the pathway for him and the team offensively moving forward? Yeah, Quantron. Eh, I don't want to oversimplify it, but like it kind of just does come down to him becoming like a good 3 point shooter, right? Like rookie year, Kaysen, he shot 38% from free, 39% from free. He was a good shooter. He was just straight up a good shooter. Like all Kaysen needs to do is like up his volume. I think his shot kind of got messed up when he added weight this offseason. I'm pretty sure he came in 10 to 15 pounds heavier compared to last, and his shot just looked. His shot was really bad at the beginning of the year. I think he shot like 20% the first month or two, similar to Caruso. So like the pathway to him becoming a better offensive player is just um like his shot is really good. His shot looks really good. I'll say that. Like he has a really quick shot. Like I feel like he can become a really good shooter. Like it's a nice compact form. It's really quick. Like he can definitely become like a good volume shooter down the line. But right now he's just not there. So I don't think his ball handling is like anything legit. I don't really see his ball handling ever becoming something that's really useful to the team. At least right now. He's a good athlete, so he can do some stuff in transition. He can finish a decent bit, but like it's all in on the shooting. That's what he was drafted for. Also, like he I think Mark Presley, like when he after he drafted him, he was like, we see a lot of shooting development coming forward for him, stuff like that. So yeah, it just comes down to him becoming a good shooter down the line. Serious question: do you think running more double screen, double drag could get could help get Shea space versus Nemhard? Yeah, I probably saw this message late, but I literally already just talked about it. Yeah, like just run more. Like if you're gonna run double big or run like these bigger lineups, like run double screens, run drag screens, right? Like just find a way to get Shea moving in space. That's all you need. You just cannot have Shea playing like in a stagnant way or like bringing the ball up. That's just not gonna work. And why do you think we haven't done it as much as we did versus Mini? Um, I'll have to think about that. I don't really know. Outside of not playing good enough, what's up with Kaysen's playing the finals? Um, I think there's just not as much of an advantage. Malik, I think that's probably the best way I can answer it. Like, I think Indiana, like, I'm not trying to say Kaysen's like a dumb player merchant or something like that. But like Kaysen relies a lot on like um, off ball defense. Like predicting where these passes are going right from these ball handlers, like compared to like and Edwards, Mike Conley, stuff like that. Now he's or Jamal Murray. That's a better example. Not Mike Conley. Mike Conley is a great passer. Now he's playing against players who like actively manipulate their passes, like Halliburton and McConnell. Like they're actively like faking out passes. They're actively like putting passes in places you don't expect. So like Case's value is like Case is not really getting as many players on the ball off the ball defensively. He's just playing against a much better passing team, and he just hasn't been able to break through defensively for that reason. Um, why do we choose to attack Neesmith over attacking Hallie with SGA? Because when you're whoever's guarding Halliburton, right? I think it would be it's Dort, right? Halliburton's guarding Dort. So if you put Dort on the ball, first of all, the team's not respecting Dort as much, right? Like they actually respect J-Dub. Like if you give Dort a head of steam, like for example, like if you don't switch to pick and roll, what happens is Dort just gets ahead of steam, right? If Dort gets ahead of steam, Indiana doesn't care, nor do the Thunder, because if Dort just drives to the rim, he's not doing anything. If Dort is forced to like do something off a drive, he's not gonna do anything. But if J-Dub is the one driving with an open lane because they don't switch, then that's an issue, right? J-Dub can actually score off the drive. He's a natural good shooter. I mean, scorer. So that's why you actually need like another player that the defense respects to get those switches. It's not just like we. That's why it's not so easy to just attack one player, right? You need to have like a multiple players that the defense doesn't want to like get a lot of space to shoot or like either drive to the rim. How do I feel about SJ early rest compared to the rest of the season where he usually plays the whole first? Um, I thought it was cool. I don't really have a strong opinion on it. I don't think it made that much of a difference. I do like in the fourth quarter how like they gave him like a nice 45-second break, 1 minute break. Don't play him the entire fourth. But again, I think Indiana's like playing you in such a manner that like that Shea's gonna have to get like frequent rest, right? So like the best way to do that is not play him for a full quarter, just sub him out like midway, get him back in to finish it. Like that's probably the best way to do it. Indiana also has like weird substitutes and sub patterns with like Halliburton and stuff, so like you're not gonna lose your minutes by too much. So I don't hate playing Shea in that manner at all. I do wonder if it difference or whatever. I'm sorry. I do wonder if it changes when the Thunder are at home because like I feel like anytime the Thunder do some like weird rotations, it only sticks on the road. I feel like that doesn't translate to homes. I feel like at home they usually run the same rotations because like I don't know. I guess like I haven't seen Shea gassed at home. I don't know. It's just a coincidence or whatever. But like they definitely look more tired when they're playing these road games. So um OKC should always switch to guard. Yeah. Kais and I. Okay. I hope they realize Halliburton can only drive to his right. Yeah. Basa, like that's something we talked about before the series. Like it's literally like I don't know why they haven't like made more emphasis on that. I think they did a much better job than at least game three. Game three, they literally let Halliburton go right on the screen every single time. This game, I think Halliburton was pretty neutral, right? He didn't get that many shots up. Yeah, 15 or fine with, and a lot of them were like awkward. So I don't, yeah, they're doing a better job of that. But like yeah, for game three made me lose my mind. Like you literally just like let Halliburton go to the right every single time for no reason. Thoughts on Dub playing more aggressive over the paint. Yeah, this has been one of J Dub's best two like one of J Dub's like best 2 free game stretches in terms of like driving to the rim, getting to the paint. Um, he's drawn so many free throws like the last few games. I think he's drawn 20 free throws after over the last 2 games, and he missed them in game one. He made a bunch of them in game two. I mean, he missed a bunch of them in game three. Made a bunch in game four. Um, yeah, like that's really the next step for J Dub. You know, like be relentless at the rim, like find a way to like draw contact, stuff like that. And I think throughout the playoffs, he's gotten much better at like drawing free throws. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but like I'm sure at least someone backs me up. Like that's a huge step for J Dub, obviously, and he was crucial like to keep the Thunder alive in the first 3 quarters because like again, Shea looked gassed, Shea looked out of it, he looked like exhausted, whatever you want to call it, in the first 3 quarters, and like the Thunder didn't have anyone else to like put pressure on the Pacers. So like him keeping them in the game was obviously like a hidden. He was like a hidden hero of that game. Shout out to Kenny. Wait, does so we are Harden Rockets and they are the Warriors. You can kind of say it like that, yeah. I think you can kind of say it like that. Like the Thunder's offense relies a lot on just like um, you know, what switch Shea gets, like what advantage he creates, like and then Golden State is obviously like more of like a team build thing. It's obviously not the same thing, but I guess you can say it that way. Does Topic take someone's spot next year? If so, who could? Um, I still think they rock with AJ like day one, and I think they'll give Topic a chance later in like the year. But like I still think Topic will go to G League, at least for like a month or two, because like he's still coming off injury and he's still like this is like his rookie season. I don't think they just throw him out there, and I think AJ proved it last year that he's at least playable. So they give AJ a chance, and then we'll see how Topic does. I think that's what it comes down to. I'm hoping Kendrick gets 15 minutes plus tomorrow. Yeah, yeah. How much did he play? Did Kendrick play? Yeah, Kendrick play 11. Yeah. Um, yeah. I love the Kendrick versus the Kendrick and Chet minutes together. Like I think they had a few minutes together. They looked really good. You still get the advantage on the boards. You still get to play fast. Like it's the best of both worlds, right? You don't sacrifice like the lack of switching that you get with Hardenstein. And I think that we should talk about that real quick. Like the Thunder need to switch everything. They need to switch everything in Game Five. If they have Chad at the five, any minutes that Hardenstein's not on the floor, you switch everything because we saw it down the stretch, right? They could not attack Chet. They tried to gain Chet into action. I think 5 times in a row in the final 3 minutes of the game, Indiana, and they didn't score once while putting Chet into action. So like if worst case scenario Nemhard or Halliburton hitting like a 30 foot, like 27 foot step back three on Halliburton, on Chet, you live with that. You have to live with that. But otherwise, I trust Chet taking away the drive. I trust Chet making them uncomfortable, especially if it's not Halliburton or Nemhard, right? Like if it's like a Maffern, if it's like a Siakam, like I trust Chet's length being able to disrupt them. So like, um, yeah, that's my big thing. Like please just switch everything. Um, what does Chet's future look like in terms of progression? I won't answer this question too much just because like I want to focus more on the series, but like um just he needs to get more balance. Definitely think he lost some weight because of injury and rehab. So like he just needs to get like his body filled out more, just improve his balance. I think that's the main thing, right? Like he doesn't need to add weight. He just needs to improve his balance and improve like whatever body he actually has right now. And I feel like then he would be able to like drive a lot better. He'd be a lot more well conditioned, stuff like that. I just think right now he's like not in like full shape yet because of the rehab he had. Like I think beginning of the year, Chet was what we were gonna see, like in terms of like him being able to drive so much, him looking so athletic, right? He hasn't looked as athletic since the injury, so just a full recovery, and then I think his progression is like continuing to draw more free throws. He's done a decent amount the last few games, and I think he needs to rework his shot. That's a different discussion for a different day. But Chet needs to rework his shot eventually because like it's not functional right now. You know, uh, DC B balls breakdowns recommendation for Indiana to have Siakam on Shea in the clutch. I have not watched his video, but I don't really see the rationale behind that. Sam, maybe like you can explain like what he said, but I don't. Because I feel like you're just taking away your best rim protector, like your second best rim protector, away from the rim to put on Shea, and I feel like Shea would find a way to kill Siakam with like, since he's a little like slow stepped a bit. Focus as a Thunder fan, I'm very glad the Grizzlies. Can you stop trolling, man? Um, but the Desmond Bain trade, I made a video about it on my other channel. Like I don't love it for Orlando. I do think like it was a bit too ambitious, but again, I'm not here to talk about that. There needs to be emphasis on Dort getting more free. Avery, it's kind of crazy, like that we've come to this point where Dort is the best volume shooter that the Thunder are comfortable playing. Because like Joe at this point is not a rotation player. Like he's gone under 5 minutes. I think in 3 straight games, maybe 2 straight games. Yeah, he definitely got more than 5 in game two, but both games on the road he didn't get over 5 minutes. So like he's not even a rotation player at this point. Like the fact that you're relying Dort so much on getting the Thunder's volume amount of 3 point shots is crazy. But they really adjusted. Indiana really adjusted from game 2 and 3. Like they really are not leaving Dort open at all. It was crazy. Like I was paying attention to that when I watched it earlier today for the second time. Like they were not helping off of Dort no matter what circumstance, which is I never thought that would happen. I never thought like in the NBA Finals, the team would refuse to help off of Lou Dort. But yeah, this has been Lou Dort's best series of his career easily. Yeah. I feel like Holly's so predictable when it comes to scoring. You can just tell he's either itching for a free or drive. His playmaking is next level though. Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I feel like Halliburton's a player that this level of under defense can definitely like figure out his tendencies over the course of the series. And same with Shea. I feel like Shea's been like a late series player who's like continuously figured out defenses over the course of a series, which has me pretty confident. Like now it's the best of 3 series. I think like the gap between Shea and Halliburton over the next 2 or 3 games could be enough to like edge it the Thunder way. Hallie is sneaky time, but he needs time to get the top speed. Anyways, we can slow Hallie Firefish. Hallie's sneaky fast, but he needs time to get to his top speed. Um, it's literally just pressuring the ball, Firefish. I mean, I think the Thunder's defense, like how much did Indiana score again? It was 104. Yeah, I don't think you need to make a major adjustment from what you did. Like they pressured Halliburton more. They were more handsy with him off the ball. Like I don't think you need to like find like an emphasis just to slow Holly down as a driver. I think like you kind of live with him, doing a decent amount but not killing you. Like he had 6 or 7 shots inside the arc today that he made. Um, like 6 or 7 the other game. Like you kind of just have to live with that. But the way to slow that down is ball pressure, right? That's why he didn't do anything in game two or game one. Like as a scorer, I mean as a driver, he didn't really do much because like they pressured him up the ball. That's the way you slow him down. But I don't think it's worth it, right? I don't think you really need to pressure him. I think you just live with whatever Indiana did on offense in game four. Did you see what Rick said about Scott Foster? Yeah, yeah. I can pull it up, right? Yeah, he was basically defending Scott Foster, defending the entire officiating crew, which is obviously the good move to do. It's better than Chris Finch or whatever he was doing. But is there any one player addition? Oh wait, the next. Well, the next step for Jaden for me is actually getting a jumper going. Even as great going four, he shot 2 of 11 jump shots. He must develop that ASAP. Yeah, I just think his jump shot is limited. I think that's the better way to say it, right? Like he only has like so many ways he's comfortable with going his jumpers, like going right off the screen, and then like that step back pound jumper. Like he's not really good in the post or like off fadeaways. He's not great off like weird footwork like Shea. That's like the main limitations of him right now. And then his 3 point shots being he needs to shoot more pull up 3 point shots. Like I don't care what the percentage was. He needs to shoot more pull up threes going forward. Maybe not this series, but like next year. Um, is there any one player addition you think that makes their matchup against Pacers much easier? Um, um, I just want to say like another like just another ball handler, like another shooter, like maybe like a Kobe White type of player. I think like a player who gets a lot of pull up shots off and also can handle the ball. Another like Anthony Simons, I guess, like that type of role, like that type of archetype, like a player who can handle the ball but also can get a lot of 3 point shot up. I think like that, like I think that's what you're missing right now. You don't have a player who can get a lot of pull up threes up, which is why you can't get any 3 point shots up. 3 point shots up against a team that's not helping. Am I wrong? If I feel like Wallace hasn't been good this series, yeah, he definitely hasn't. What's your confidence level heading into Game Five? Again, this Game Four wasn't that convincing. I want to say that, like I want to preface that, like the Game Four win was not that convincing. Again, it was very similar to Denver or and Dallas, right? I don't know if you all remember Game Four versus Dallas last year. Like we won, but the fact that the Thunder still haven't found a way to figure out Indiana's defense, right? It's still not convincing. I mean, you can say the same for their side, right? They struggled offensively again in the clutch, but like I would say my confidence is like a 7. Like I would say it's like a 5 right now, but then us being at home like pushes it to a 7. So, um, do you think SJ has hit how bad our role player shooting is? Like they've been spoiled. Like they've been spoiled and it's hurting us now. I mean our shooting was good in the regular season. I think just the regular season hit it. Firefish. I'm gonna be honest. Like I just think the regular season and like uh, how teams scheme in the regular season, like they don't really like make much emphasis, in their help rules. Like they don't really understand how you're playing as much in the playoffs, right? I think that just really hit our lack of shooting. Like we generated so many wide open threes in the regular season because like again teams aren't really scheming up for those type of games, and we have a lot of players who are very schemable. Like a player like we can talk about Hardenstein a bit later offensively. Like he's a very schemable player offensively, and I think that's like something the Thunder will have to take in going forward. Like I don't know if Hardenstein's a great playoff player. Like I think his offense just completely disappears in the playoffs, and I think we have enough sample from this year and last year that kind of tells us that he's a player who can easily be taken out the game. I think Colin Sexton is another player. He doesn't get as many 3 point shots up as much as I would like, but like Sexton, Simons, Monk, Kobe White, like one of those type of players. Like those, I think that would be like a big reliever for this Thunder offense right now. We won both games where we out rebounded Indiana. Double big should be the lineup to finish the last 2 or 3 games. I think Caruso was so good. Caruso was just so good overall. Like this game, it made sense, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't really feel like the double big lineup did too much. I think it was just fine. Again, I'm fine with running it more. I just don't think it's a big difference maker. When Dove has catch and shoot 3 point shots, going is hard to stop. Yeah, I love seeing Nuggets fans crying for it. Yeah, I don't know how people can call that a travel because like first of all like there's a rule like literally says like you can regather your balance like after like you lose it like that's literally like it's called a 0 step, right? So it's not travel for that reason. He also got tripped, right? The only reason he like it looked like he traveled is because he tripped, and I mean D Smith tripped him, right? So like this is a dumb play. I really think that we should let Siakam do more work on rebounding just to yeah, definitely the parallels between this series and Denver is insane. Like game one, Thunder control it for 85% of 85 to 90% of the game. Last few minutes they collapse. Game winner. Game two, Thunder control it from full 48 minutes. Game three, game three really no one controls that. I would say, and then like, the Thunder just collapsed in the clutch. Like I don't know if Shea really collapsed in the clutch. I think that's a better way to say it. Shea pretty much collapsed in the clutch. In game four, Shea rebounds in the clutch. The Thunder are playing from behind most of that game. Main difference between this and Denver is that Indiana team is clearly better coach. I think it's just a better coach, man. Yeah, better coach. Yeah, I think Indiana's like being very slept on as like a team. Also, like they were a 60+ win team post January, right? They literally just went through the entire Eastern Conference playoffs. Um, and pretty convincingly beat every single opponent. Like they're just like a really good team. Like I don't really know how to explain it. They're definitely better than Denver. They're more well coached. Rick is like Rick might be like the best or second best coach in the league right now, and one of the best all time. So would you replace iHeart for Turner if you could? Um, Turner's also been pretty like Turner's also been pretty not being pretty good this series either. Uh, I would say not for this team, not for this team, not for this team. No, because I don't think Turner brings you anything new that Chet wouldn't bring. Right. So like, I would just bring Hartenstein. I would just keep Hartenstein because like he gives you like a different look. But like, yeah, I think the ball pressure has pushed the screen from Hart for Router, creating his catches from his floater, effectively taking them. Inbound count. Yeah, that's a great point. Like, actually, that's a perfect point. Yeah, I was gonna talk about that earlier, but like, when teams, I think the same thing happened against Minnesota, right? Or at least in early series. If you're gonna pressure Hartenstein, if you're gonna pressure the defender early on, especially Shea, Hartenstein's gonna come up, which means that he's not gonna be in position to play at the middle of the floor. He's not gonna be in position to get that floater off, right? So yeah, it takes that away. It takes the entire scoring game away. But in Macau, like even in the games where teams have not pressured Hartenstein, I feel like that's been taken away because um, teams will have like their bigs basically play like at the level of like the floater. It's kind of weird, and they'll just swipe down at the ball, and then Hartenstein will never go up with it. Almost never go up with it once they swipe, and they'll second guess it. Usually just kick it out, or there just won't be enough space. Like teams are just staying at home, which isn't a horrible thing. Like it creates more driving lanes for Shea still because like they actually have to stay on Hardenstein. But like it's just a very limited offensive approach. You know, like he relies so much on like teams helping off of him aggressively. But um, I rejoice when I see Turner take a free. Yeah, his shooting's been bad. His mid range has been crazy though. But like his 3-point shooting's been awful this series. How would you rank this year's OKC Pacers and last year's Celtics in the playoffs? In the playoffs, um, it's so hard to rank the Pacers. I mean, the Celtics last year, they literally played like one legit team. I'm not even trying to like take it away from them. Like they played like one team like had an actual chance. So like, I mean, they did like kind of dominate Dallas though. So like, I'll say Boston, OKC, Indiana, but those are all pretty close. Like in terms, I think Boston's definitely above like in terms of like overall, just 'cause, like how dominant their two-way team was. But like in terms of playoffs, I think they're like yeah, Boston one, OKC two, Indiana three. They're really aggressive on Shea screens. Is on Chet. Is he not rolling? Resetting screens. He can't do brush screens like that. RJ, I think it's just because it's on Chet. It's on Chet a bit. It's because Chet's not Chet's not being smart enough offensively because in terms of like whenever he gets the ball, he's at the either like the either of a pop, he's either doing like a poor drive, like a pretty predictable drive, or his 3-point shots being off like all finals. So like teams are really just not respecting Chet right now. All you have to do is close out like relatively hard. He's either gonna hesitate from free or shoot like a line drive. So like that's a lot on him. And whenever Chet decides to go in the middle of the floor and roll, like if he's not popping, if Chet's not popping and he goes in the middle of the floor, then the Indiana's just basically daring him to make a good decision with the ball. You know, like he sometimes does, most of the time he doesn't. He just holds the ball for a few seconds, and they don't do anything out of it. So like it's on Chet right now. He's just not smart enough offensively, um, which is why they're so aggressive with Shea. I mean against Shea when they do that Shea and Chet screens, which is why I think they went away from it. I don't think Chet's been on screens as much as he was in game three. I think they went away from it in game four a bit. But Chet was great on the boards, by the way. I don't want to just like shit on Chet. Like he was really good on the boards and defensively in the clutch. Like 4 offensive rebounds, 15 rebounds total. Like he was a uh, he has been he had some really good key moments despite like the injury stuff, whatever you know. I hope Kaysen steps up in game five. It's his redemption game, yeah. Hopefully, um, I'm rocking with Isaiah Joe 3-point masterclass of game five. If Indiana overcommits to quality in the paint, if OKC moves the ball more. Sam, here's the thing. We've already had like this kind of moment where um where Indiana did that. I think it was game three, right? Where Indiana started to do that at the beginning of the game, and Joe exploited it with like shooting well on threes. He went 2 for 2 in 4 minutes, and he still got subbed out. He still got subbed out because he was so poor defensively. So like I don't know how much it matters at this point. I really want to believe that Joe will be able to go off in the series eventually, and like have some pivotal moments in terms of like swing a game with his shooting. But like Mark has made him unplayable because like he doesn't trust him defensively at all. So like there's nothing you can do. Play Kenrich over Kaysen. Could that still be something Mark saves for another game? Maybe, maybe. But like this was a must-win game, Sam. Like um, I would say like the only like adjustment like the Thunder have like the clear adjustment that the Thunder have like matchup wise like that they can do is put Caruso and Siakam at some point. Like, it kind of reminds me of like putting Caruso and Jokic, that type of adjustment. They just completely make them uncomfortable, take away their entire like post offense or whatever they do with Siakam, completely take that away by just putting Caruso on them and like fronting every single screen. I think that's like a adjustment you leave in your back pocket for game 6 or game 7 potentially. But yeah, I love Caruso and Siakam. Yeah, I love Caruso and Siakam. I was preaching for a pre-series, but they haven't went to it yet. But I'm really hoping they can eventually do something with it. Key to winning game 5 of the series. Play Shea off movement. Like don't let Shea initiate the ball so much. Like have him off the ball in the half court. Like let him play through movement. Um, don't play too much up on Halliburton. Like let Halliburton and Siakam beat you, kind of like they did in game 4. Like let them get their drives. Let them get their one-on-one possessions if they need to. Just you need to prevent like moving your defense too much. Like if you ever like go in rotation against Indiana's defense, you're in trouble. So like again, at worst, just switch everything. Yeah, switch everything on defense, but don't force yourself to rotate or play from behind. Don't let Halliburton like put the defender on your hip so you can make a skip pass. Don't let do that. Just switch everything. Um, that's really like the main thing. Just you need to switch everything on defense. Trust Chet at the 5. And if Hardenstein's not there, obviously you change the plan. But like Chet at the 5 minutes is where you need to win the series. Chet at the 5 needs to be the minutes that you destroy the series because like he's so perfect for this matchup defensively, and I don't think the Thunder have tapped into his potential enough outside the ending in game 4 where they decided to switch and he finally came up like we can search it up real quick like Chet. Let's see. I don't know what there's like a video someone had. Yeah, Chet crunch time defense. Like he was just able to, man, the quality's bad, but like 4 or 5 stops in the final 2 minutes. I'll play it maybe later. I can't believe we only won with 3 3 pointers. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a historic mark. By Oklahoma City, to win a game with only 3 3 pointers. But um, yeah, they think the offense will look better next game. It's kind of tough to believe. Like RJ, I'm getting like real Dallas series flashbacks in terms of our offense, where like the adjustment just hasn't come in yet. They same thing like the game 3 and game 4 offensive game plan was so similar. The only thing they did different was like the was trying to get Neesmith into action to end game 4. That was like the only thing they changed. So we'll see. I'm not too optimistic about adjustments. I think the Thunder, no matter what, are gonna have to win the series defensively, because yeah, I just think they're gonna have to win defensively at this point. Like they can't really change the lack of ball handlers. They can't really change the lack of volume shooters at this point. I think that's the major thing holding them back more than anything schematically. But I think defensively they can dominate the series still. I think they can have a game where they like hold Indiana to below 105 for back to back games. They can still do that. But offensively I don't really see them like breaking through. Yeah, inbound Cal, like they literally can't get him the ball at times. It's a real issue. The inbound stuff. I think someone mentioned it earlier. I don't know where it was. Foster not being able to inbound. Yeah, they've been really bad these entry passes. Also inbounds, like all these type of situations, they've been really bad. Like against the ball pressure, like ever inbound, get it to Shea. Like they just haven't handled the ball pressure well at all. They need. We got home court. We will not lose in our home court anymore. Believe it or not. I believe you. Nah, that's no home court for the Thunder, man. That's all. That's all you really need to know at this point. 11 assists. Yeah. She had a zero assist game, man. She had a zero assist game in the NBA Finals, and they won. Like I don't think people realize how crazy that is. Like Shea, I think probably had the ball for what? Like his usage was probably at least like 35, right? 32, 30, almost 33. 33% usage and having zero assists is insane, no matter the context. But this game shouldn't be a recipe of something to replicate. That's how I should probably say. Like you should treat this game as a loss offensively. Like the only like again like the only good things of, like you should really take away like that clutch time defense. I still think like they made too many mistakes in terms of like their initial game plan that they presented forward. The full court pressure is wearing on Nembhard. Yeah, yeah. Nembhard was off on those jumpers. He was flat on a lot of them. He's also being basically like shut out the game offensively for the most part. He's not an elite offensive player. He just has like elite moments, I guess, right? Like he has a great pull up jumper, but yeah, he's been kind of a non factor when he's not when he's not on Shea on the ball. Even when he switched, he's kind of been a non factor. So like you just need to get him out the action early. Um, has the full court press gotten to us that bad that we can't inbound him clear? I think it has, Colin. I think it has. Like there's definitely been a decent amount of impact. It's so annoying that how we don't get an offensive set until 10 seconds already off the sheet. Difference, yeah. That's literally the reason why we're in this situation because either A, you have Shea bring up the ball and he's super tired. Shea can get the ball down quickly down the floor within like 5 or 6 seconds, but he gets tired. Option B, you let like Lou Dort or Caruso get the ball up the floor, and they're gonna take a lot longer. And there's also a risk for turnover or mistake. Um, and option C, you just have to play Hardenstein to get like high ball screens and stuff like that. It's like really the dilemma in terms of like how to get the ball out quicker, but like the easiest way is just to have another ball handler, but they don't have that. So like that's what every team does, right? Like New York played campaign more. New York played Deuce McBride more. Dan McKell, who they're comfortable with the ball. I think the Thunder trusted Jada a lot more to bring the ball up this game. I don't think they did in the first 2 games. This game Jada brought the ball up a lot now. Crusoe's been great. Yeah, Crusoe's awesome, man. Like he he's a monster, man. By the way, guys, I introduced channel memberships and stuff like that. If you look at like the Thunder Focus channel page, like there's an option to join if you guys ever want to support the channel. That's a new thing that I just got accepted for like 2 days ago. So if you guys ever want to support, just click that button on, put some exclusive content on there in the off season stuff like that. Um, Caruso has to start, in my opinion. He had success against pressure. I think no matter what, he has to close, right? Inbound count. Like I think no matter what, you probably have to have Caruso or Hardenstein in the game. Because Hardenstein gives you the screening to relieve pressure, and then Caruso gives you another ball handler. So you at least need one of them in the game. So you can start with Hardenstein for the first few minutes, then put Caruso in. But no matter what, you need one of them in the game because like you just can't rely on just Shea and J up trying to figure out the ball pressure. Can't wait for Topic next year. Not gonna lie. Yeah, or just get AJ off a full year, right? It's either Topic or AJ. I like AJ at the same time. He's still what 22. He had a really good first 20 games before he got injured. Like you just need one of them to pop. But at the same time, Nate, I don't want to rely on one of them. Like I think that's a cool thing that they could bring, but I also don't want to put all my eggs on Topic or AJ being like a great ball handler come playoff time. So no matter what, I think the Thunder should be like at least like aware or like in the market for like another ball handler. And now the refs are gonna not call fouls. All right, cool, man. Need to switch everything like in those 5 minutes. Checking. Chet's. I think Chet's literally done good against Halliburton like every single time. I said like this one blow by, he got. I think it was last game, but like every single other shot has been like a tough step back free off of multiple dribbles, or Halliburton just like picking up the ball and just resetting the clock after 5 or 6 seconds. So like, can I trust Chet on Halliburton a lot? Like Halliburton's movements aren't crisp enough to like really like beat someone like Chet. J was scaring me early, but yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I still don't, that's why J Dub hasn't really handled the ball much until this game. Like, cause he's still so turnover prone. Like he definitely turns over the ball multiple times. So like you don't really want to trust J Dub bring up the ball too many times, but like you kind of have to at some points in the game. J- just so you don't tax Cruz or Shea. Yeah, that's true. If we get another ball handler off the bench, who are some? I know Sexton could be good, but who else? I mentioned Kobe White earlier. Kobe White will be expensive for sure though. Like in terms of draft capital, he has a really good contract, so like you can keep him on the team for like 2 or 3 years. I'm pretty sure. But in terms of draft capital, that'll be expensive. Malik Monk. Malik Monk's like my dream one because he has a long contract. He plays off the ball. He plays on the ball, and he can play make a decent amount. You got and then Anthony Simons as like a last guy. Like just like one of those type of dynamic ball handlers. Fox and Shea trusting Dub this series has seen Shea way off the pass more. Is it more of a mismatch thing? Colin, I literally just think it's that. Um, yeah, I literally just think it's that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think there's been a lot of times this series where Shea's like passed off the ball. Shea's not really looking for the ball as much. He just hasn't like got a lot of like good situations, like good matchups this entire series. So like, there's no point of playing Shea through it the entire time. Um, Obviously, we have to finish the finals first. But are you going live for the draft? Yeah, I'll go live for the draft. I'll go live for the draft for sure. Um, I'll probably have some draft content out. I think the finals like game either goes game 6 or game 7. It'll like end like 3 or 4 days before the draft. So like I'll try to get like as much content as I can. But I have a lot of draft thoughts right now about guys like the Thunder could draft, but like not right now. Not right now. Um, I generally think the only thing we can is Shea using his screen to get him the ball. Yeah. Yeah, that's like only thing you can do right now. But again, like it slows down the offense so much, so you don't want to do it for like a full game. I still think like it's a thing you just do in the fourth quarter. In this type of game, like you just have to win defensively and then hope that Shea screening action can get you over the top. False on the ban trade, is he better than Crusoe? Shea, um, yeah, I made a video on my second channel by the way. If not even trying to plug, but like if you guys wanna like my full false on the ban trade, I made one video. Um, Yeah, I think the Bane trade was interesting. He's not. I don't think he's. No, he's better than Crusoe. He is better than Crusoe, but I didn't like it for Orlando. I think Memphis got the better end. Like getting that many assets for a guy on a pretty expensive contract. I don't think Bane is probably gonna improve too much from here. He's like 27. I'm pretty sure. So like that's pretty much my thoughts summarized. Like I think Memphis got a better end of that deal. They got a lot of draft capital. I'm interested to see like if they reset, if they trade it for like another player, like maybe even Kevin Durant, right? Like maybe they like reroute those assets. Maybe Trey Murphy, maybe Herb Jones. But like either they're soft resetting and like taking a gap year, or they're like, gonna go all in and have like another move coming. So I'm interested. I think Orlando's pretty fun, but I don't think it's a needle mover. No, Herb Jones is Kobe's great. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Kobe's like probably like the premium, right? I just feel like he's probably too far. Um, I don't really think he's the guy. He's the guy that would probably be down for that type of role. He's just too good right now. He's like almost averaging like 20 points on good efficiency. Pretty solid playmaker. Do you think we draft at? Do you think we draft at 15 or trade up and maybe get someone in the top 10? I feel like Knuppel would be insane. Knuppel would be Knuppel would be my dream. Like my dream player. I love Con Knuppel. Um, I think he's probably gonna be too steep. I think there's rumors about him going number 4 to Charlotte. I think that's like what the words mean. Like he could go to number 4 to Charlotte because they don't like Ace Bailey. So I don't think it's possible. We can look back at this. Yeah. So like I think Knuppel probably goes. I think he probably goes number 4, maybe number 6. I don't think he goes number 5. Um, I don't really see much trade up targets. That's the issue. Like the only team I could see to trade up in like maybe New Orleans. Like if you overpay, I don't think New Orleans really needs a top pick down. Like will want a top pick that much. Like maybe you could trade if I don't really see much trade up targets. So Brooklyn and Toronto are trading up for sure if they're gonna trade a pick. Houston could, but like 10 is not that big of a deal. I think Jace Richardson could definitely be a funner guy, but we have so many ball handler prospects right now between AJ Topic. I don't really I don't what the hell, man. I don't I don't really know if they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna draft another raw prospect. Um, Bain trade was bad for the Magic. They gave up 4 picks for kind of less wingspan. Do you think Isaiah Joe is still on our team this year? No, no, I don't think so. I mean he could. I think if the Thunder win the championship, I think Presti goes conservative and just runs the same team back and then makes whatever moves he needs to at the deadline. But if they lose or it's like really close, there's just no way. Um, I thought the same about Kendrick Williams last year. Like the Thunder didn't play him in the playoffs much at all. I thought they were gonna trade him, but they didn't. They didn't. So like, who knows? Like they could just keep on trying to ride it out, try to see like maybe just prolong it. But there's no, I don't think there's a reason why he should be on the roster. If you just haven't trusted him in like half your playoff series, like you trusted him against Memphis in round one, you trusted him a little against Minnesota, but like Denver and Indiana is basically being unplayable just off of what Mark thinks. So like if Mark doesn't trust Joe, like there's no point of him being on the roster. Um, you think we'd be able to package him for Cam Johnson? Yeah, yeah. You can do Joe and Kenrich. Um, Isaiah Joe and Kenrich Williams would combine for Cam Johnson money easily. Do you think Shea drinks mango lassi? I think he does, man. I really like watching Knupple at Duke too. Yeah. Did they say anything about J-Dub's back or Chet's ankle? They weren't on the injury report, so they're both fine. They both will play tomorrow, no matter what. Joe is just too small on an already small team. Um, Flacco. Like no, Kenny and Joe in terms of like contract, they definitely have to add picks. It would be like if they're gonna trade for Johnson, I would say like Kenrich as their Joe. Maybe Topic. No, probably not Topic. I don't think the Thunder would be willing to trade Topic. Actually, I do have something I could say about that, but probably not right now. Um, yeah, probably like 2 picks, probably like 2 first-round picks. I don't know what the market for Cam Johnson would be right now, but Brooklyn wanted 2 picks no matter what. I don't think they got offered that at the deadline by anyone. At least it's like 2 good picks. So maybe like 15 plus like another pick probably gets you Cam Johnson. Yeah, I think that's a pretty. I think that's a pretty fair trade. You don't trade too much there. How expensive would Trey Murphy be? I think Trey Murphy would be. I think Trey Murphy is gonna be really expensive. I think like it would be Topic, plus Joe, plus like 2 to 3 picks, and plus probably Wiggins, right? Because you need a match contract, and Murphy makes like 23 million at 25 million maybe. So like I don't think it's possible, but Flacco, yeah, that's another thing. I think people forget about that. Like Sam Presley almost got lucky in a way with the Crusoe stuff, right? Like I'm not trying to take away from Presley and what he's done, but he's almost gone lucky because he wanted Josh Giddey off the bench and his management said no way. His management was like, no, we have a big contract coming up. We're gonna go to our own team where we can operate. And obviously Chicago was that. Like if Giddy's management accepts a bench role, who knows? Like Giddy probably on the team right now, playing off the bench. I really think Preston really valued having another ball handler and playmaker, which is why I was kind of shocked that after Caruso they didn't try to get someone else. I mean, I knew they got Topic, but like he's not someone who can do something for this year. But would I go for Ja if he's available? No, no. I'm just not into like bad defensive guards right now. What is Cam Johnson's contract? I want to say like 18 million or so. Marcos it's like 5 or 6 million under Murphy. Like it's like 18 to 17 million. Maybe it might be 20. It might be 20. It might be 20. But like, I think it's high teens, maybe low 20. If OKC makes a trade, will it be with iHeart? I forgot about iHeart. Yeah, I think Hartenstein would be the guy potentially. I think the Thunder will probably trust J Will going forward a little more. Um, Hartenstein, no matter what, I just don't think he can be a long term guy. Like just because of contract reasons. He probably only has like what 2 years. He has like 2 years left. One of them being a team option. Probably not a long term guy. So like I could see them. I could see a scenario where they try to package Hartenstein. Probably, I think they no matter what keep him this year. And I think third year they accept his team option, then trade him in the offseason. That's probably my prediction right now. Unless like a bigger trade happens, obviously. The only players I can see for OKC, Cam Johnson. Um, is Cam Johnson a movement shooter? Yeah, Cam Johnson can definitely shoot off movement, 100%. Do you think it's possible for Chet to actually gain muscle? Not as much as people think. No, because like the thing with Chet is he has narrow shoulders, and narrow shoulders mean that um makes it harder to develop. At least like in terms of like it makes it harder to like gain visible muscle. I would say that. Um, and then in terms of like just overall like adding weight and stuff like I don't think any weight that Chet would be adding would necessarily be good weight. I think he just needs to get stronger in terms of his own body. Like he still has like, a lot of like places where he can fill in. And again, I spoke about it earlier. Like rehab, he doesn't have the greatest balance right now. I figure if he gets like in that 215 range, where his body's completely filled out, that's probably what he's gonna be at. I don't think he's ever actually gonna become like a bigger player. In terms of like 220, 230. I think it's gonna be similar to like a KD situation where like he fills out over time, but he doesn't actually like visibly look that much stronger. You know. Yeah, and I think with Chet, he has to change his jumper. He has to change his jumper. It's he has too good of a shooting touch for his size to settle for this mediocre jumper. You know. RJ, I've been talking about it for so long. Like that's the thing with Chet. The thing with Chet is that he was, and you can give him some grace, right? Because he's missed so much time in his career. He's only played like 1.5 seasons, but that's the next step. Like people talk about like him being able to shoot off the dribble, him being able to shoot this, that, whatever. No, the biggest thing with Chet is that he needs to find a way to punish mismatches, like punish smaller players whenever they switch on to him. That's what Mobley and Jackson did. I think uh Jaren Jackson's like another player who's done that really well over the ages. Who do you think is more upside, Chet or Khalil Ware? Chet. I mean, maybe offensively that's a good question. I mean, offensively, I just think Chet's not there yet. Probably Khalil. It might be Khalil offensively. As crazy as it sounds, but like Chet's on another level defensively. Like Chet might be like a top three defender in the world right now, and like the last few years, you know. But I was thinking about this. So do you think Shea can ever become a good pull up 3 point shooter? Um, no, not in terms of like walking into his shot. I don't think he can. I think the best way for Shea to get a lot of shots up with this jump shot is like just step back 3 pointers, like expanding his range to Marcos. I think that's a big thing. I think that's actually a thing that I watched in a Damian Lillard interview like a few weeks ago. It's Shea's not Damian Lillard, obviously, but like in terms of like shooting, we talked about like the way to counter like more ball pressure, like wasn't just improving as like a pull up shooter, but improving your range, right? Like makes that high screen more valuable, uh, makes teams more scared to um, like give you space in the half court, like force you to like beat them off the dribble like that. Like it opens so much for a game in terms of like what you can screen with, what you cannot. So like if Shea can like expand his range, I think that's something he can do, right? We've seen Shea shoot deep 3 pointers in the past, like 35. I'm not 35 footers. Like my God, like 28 to 30 footers. He's shot them in the past when he's a few feet behind. He rarely does it, but like it looks pretty good. So like if Shea can like find a way to expand his range, like on those step backs, for example, if he can find a way to expand like his spots on the floor, I think that's the best way to do it. I don't think he can become like a great pull up shooter like that. I think he could become a good step back shooter though, you know, or like a good set shooter, something like that. Who even adjusted Chet's jump shot? Drew Hanlon. Embiid and Tatum's trainer and Halliburton's trainer. Chet keeps stepping on the line, big toe every single time. Yeah, yeah. I rewatched the game. I mean, when I watched the game first, he already had like two on the line or something like that. I really hope Queso quick bust it back. How that felt. Yeah, they just need Queso to find a way to come through, man. Shea hit that logo shot against the Lakers and tried to recreate it a few times unsuccessfully. It's like his aura farming shot, you know. Like sometimes Shea, like when we're up like 6 or 7 points, he just wants to get like that cool dagger. He hasn't got it yet, but do you think Shea is a mix of Kawhi and Chris Paul, or what would you say is a mix of? Um, um, I've I've compared Shea to Kawhi a lot. That in terms of like I think they operate from the same spots come playoff time, off the ball, like from that post area, from the nail, from the elbow. Um, I would say his game's a lot like Kawhi, and I really just want to say guard Kawhi. Like I don't know, like just a more expensive, like less strength reliant, and more of like a ball handler. Like I guess like I think Chris Paul's a good shout, but I think Kobe was more tough shot making relying. Like Kobe was like more he's gonna shoot over the top of you right every single time. Shea's more like I'm gonna create. I think Shea's Iverson and Kawhi. I think that's my comparison. I think Shea's Iverson and Kawhi. If that's a comparison, yeah, yeah. Shea Loki like 6'6" Iverson, yeah. I think Shea's a bit of Iverson and Kawhi. I would say that. I think that's probably like the best way. I think Kobe shot too many tough shots. Like Kobe was just like Shea doesn't shoot over the top of you a lot, you know. Like he's similar to Kobe, but I would say he's closer to like a guard, like more guard like. I guess you can. That's where CP3 comes from too. Um, what about Jacob's 3 point shooting? I think Jada began the year as such a good shooter. Um, he shot 40%, like 7 attempts. He has a pretty versatile shot. I think Jada can become a pull up shooter. He's like literally walked you down multiple times. I've seen it like in transition, right? He'll walk down, just shoot that pull up free. His shot's pretty solid too. It's like pretty compact. It's not slow at all. I think J-Dub just comes down to volume. I don't want to overthink it for J-Dub. I think Shade has some actual mechanical issues. I don't think J-Dub has many things that limit him. Like he needs to be set a bit. Like he can't go off movement completely, but he can do some movement stuff. Like it's mainly like he just needs to he just needs to like buy into that 3 point shooting a little more. I see a lot of Kawhi and Shea in the post. Shea's handles, yeah, Shea might have the best handle for a guy over 6'6" that we've seen, and I don't think that's over exaggerating it. Um, Shea screen for J Dub. Alright, hold on. I'll talk about Shea's shooting in a second. Shea screen with Dub seemed to be a go-to in Game 4. I think we'll spread it out through Game 5 more. Flacco, I talked about it earlier. Like I don't think you want to over rely on that too much because again, it just slows the game down and just makes it too predictable. So it's like it's not something you can do so many times, Flacco. Like those type of plays, like where you get the switch, where you get a mismatch quickly, you can't run it the entire game because it's very easy to figure out. But I think that's something you again continue going to in the clutch. It'll be a staple of their clutch time offense. So like, as long as you keep the game close, that'll be the option, Flacco. But you can't do it for the entire game. Maybe they try to attack Neesmith more, but not in the same way. Flacco, like maybe they'll find ways to get Neesmith on a Shea, but not in the same manner. I think they'll use that only in to end games. I've been really happy with J Dub since that free game since versus Denver. Even when shot and falling, he's attacking aggressively. Yeah, J Dub has been really J Dub has been really good since I think Game 5. No, I want to say Game 6 versus Denver. Right, I think Game 6 versus Denver was his like down game. Ever since then, Game 7 was really good. That Western Conference series was best of his career, and he's had some up and downs in the series. But I think for the most part, at least he's had a good process. You know, When you checked the score before watching the game, did you think we dominated some of the game too, or easy money snapper? I already knew that the Thunder were down at three at halftime because I checked the halftime score when I was there, so I knew we were down three. So I didn't know. I knew it was already not domination. I predicted. I just thought they were gonna. I thought they were gonna win. I had a feeling they were gonna win for just for some reason, but I knew it was a clutch game no matter what. If that's answering the question. So what can Shea do for more range, or would you just not change the shot at all? Um, I wouldn't change. I don't think it's really a shot thing. No. We've already seen Shea change his shot so many times over the last few years. I don't know if you guys were here in 2020, 2021, where he changed his jump shot like two or three times mid season, and I think this is just a shot he has to go with. I think he can shoot more range with this shot, Marcos. I just think he needs to shoot more from range. I don't think he has to change his shot. Like there's just some shots players can take. I think pull up threes is just one of them for Shea. I think if he changes a pull up shot or his shot overall, it can mess up uh, like his entire shot is so footwork reliant. That's why he's so good in the mid range. Like, if you change his shot a bit, it can mess up his entire rhythm. So I don't think there's anything he needs to specifically add for his shot. He just needs to practice those deeper three pointers a little more. Shea attacking Neesmith was so clever. Kalen Cooper is one of the smartest people ever, by the way. Said Neesmith commits so many shooting fouls and he's shorter. Yeah, Neesmith is just like the face of overly aggressive defenders. You know, he's kind of like Dort instead, but like he doesn't know how to play physical within the rules. I think he's fouled on plenty of games this playoffs. He's like averages like 4 fouls per 36 minutes, something like that. Yeah, I think that's why J Dub is drawing so many fouls this playoffs. I mean this series because he's playing against Neesmith for most of this game, for most of the game. So like yeah, if you can find a way to find a way for Shea to attack Neesmith a little more, that can be a complete game changer going forward. J Dub going to the left hand layup is big automatic. Yeah. I think the Pacers were okay with switching Neesmith and Nemar, but not. Yeah, we'll see anymore. I could have just seen him. I could see them just blitz like ball screens now. Difference. Like I think they're gonna be so. They might be so stingy on not getting Nemar off of Shea. Like this was the first time the Thunder tried to really attack Neesmith on Shea, right? And obviously didn't go well. So I think at this point they're just gonna blitz everything and find a way to make sure like no matter what Shea doesn't get a switch on any player that's not Nemhard. I think the Pacers were okay with. I already read that. You think Ludor was just having a rough shooting stretch versus Denver or Memphis, or is he just streaky? Um, he's streaky a bit, but also I think like those teams were the defensive teams were playing were a lot different, right? Like now you're playing against teams that ball pressure a lot, which means like those teams were just helping out of zones and stuff like that, which means like Dort's like disadvantage as like a decision maker and like playing off the catch matters a lot more because they're just running him off the line. When you're pressuring the ball so much, there's like less. There's less. I think Dort struggles against defenses that move a lot. I'll say that like that help a lot on defense. If you don't help a lot on defense and if you play a lot of man to man, I think Dort just is like perfectly fine like the regular season. Because like now he's set. Now the team defenses aren't scrambling against him. Once Dort sees the defense scrambling and running against him, that's when he struggles. He doesn't struggle when he's like a set shooter, and when he doesn't have to get off his feet. When Dort has to do fly by 3 pointers and stuff like that, that's when he struggles. You know, so I think some of it's streaky, but some of it's not coincidence. You know, like Indiana and Minnesota pressured the ball the most. They play man to man the most. So is it a coincidence that he shot the best against them? I don't think so. Same against Dallas last year, right? Dallas like did a lot of weird helping, weird running you off the line, zone stuff at times. I think that's why I struggled against them. All right, I'm pretty much got everything I need to. I wanted to say, but again, if you guys have any more questions, let me know. Hey, Ludor shot to bro. That we can talk. I'm gonna look back at that Ludor 3 pointer, man. That was one of the craziest 3 point shots I've ever seen, man. Like it went to the nosebleeds, man. This is crazy. Look where the ball goes, man. That ball, I think I can't even see it at its peak almost, right? Like it literally goes off the screen. The ball literally went off the screen. Yeah, like his arc is so funny, man. Like there's no fucking way the shot should go in. But did you see that Crusoe? Yeah, I heard I didn't see it in real time. I mean, because when I was rewatching the game, there was no like blackout or anything. But that's hilarious. So like the Friday the 13th thing came out. I was like the Thunder's only 3-pointer of like the only first of the first half. So like the only 3-pointer of the first half. Like you couldn't even see. It's just really funny. Do you see the Cruz from fadeaway midi? That's a legendary Thunder shot. The fact that Caruso like he's a legit scorer now. Like I mean not no now, but like he's legit like helping against ball pressure. He's like scoring at a decent rate. He's like the Thunder's third best offensive player of the series. It's insane. He was a liability to begin the season, man. A liability offensively. Like there was questions like, is Caruso gonna be playable offensively come playoff time? Now he's like the third best offensive player. Like absurd stuff. Absurd stuff. I'm gonna watch that mid range shot again. Um, is it this one? Yeah, I think it's this one. Like this is crazy work, man. Just ISO on Neesmith. ISO on Neesmith. Flat out the floor. He drives into help, right? Toppin's digging for the ball. Neesmith's right there. Neymar's right there. He does a quick spin gather into like the craziest mid range shot you'll see. But I would be shocked if Shea did this shit and Cruz was the one who pulled it off. Like yeah, I literally trust Cruz to make every single like run ending 3-pointer. Yeah, insanely filthy, man. All right, if you guys have any more questions, any more like anything else to say, let me know. But um, that's pretty much it for now. Again, if you guys want to join the channel, like join channel membership or support the channel, anything like that, there's a button right there. It just joined right now. I mean, it just I can't speak right now. I'm a bit tired, but um, it just became an option recently, as of 2 days. So again, if you guys ever want to support, that's that. I have another channel for NBA content, hoop focus. I'm literally just trying to post like every single reaction I have to to NBA offseason stuff there. I just love basketball, so like more than just a funner, you know. So I post over there. Um, am I live after Game 5 tomorrow? Yes. Yeah, I'll be live. I'll be live making videos, posting the playback, like everything, like normal. I'll also post like a breakdown, like a video breakdown. You know, I haven't done that. I only did that once this series, which is like putting like a film breakdown after the game. I have enough time now. My files are done, so like I'll have a video like the next day. So no matter what happens in Game 5, win or loss, I'll have like whatever's interesting in the game. You know, if Shea goes off, I'll have a video on Shea. If the defense is bad, I'll have a video on the defense. Stuff like that. Um, yeah, that's all I have, man. We got Game 5 in the bag. Thunder up, yes sir. I appreciate Snow Toyota, bro. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate anyone who supports, obviously, the channel in any way, you know. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I'll see y'all after Game 5. Thunder up, man.